Quick little update. Okay, so here's a stock that I've been well, actually no, let's give you a bit of update regarding where my stocks are currently compared to previously. So previously, let's go back to here. So if you look at here, by the way, the AMC Entertainment stock is just a pure play. So I'm just messing around, nothing else. So yeah, I've already gone in and out of Adobe with the profit. I've gone back in again, but I'm in a bit of a deficit. Anyway, never mind. Fuvu TV, I'm waiting on it. I'm using tactic strategy. Not going to go in. Ocado, the same. Pets at Home, I'm just going to wait on that one. I get 4.5% profit on it on dividend anyway. So I'm cool with waiting on it. But I will decide what I do with it. Not gonna rush into a shop. It's a good buy. Tempest, I'm just again playing with the stock. I've made some quick profit on it. It's really good for like quick in and out, but it can burn you as well, so you got to be careful. Tesla, do you remember where I had about £10,000 stuck in that one? It's cleared now, alhamdulillah. My profit on it came out with a profit, so that'll do. Neo, do you remember Neo? Neo's gone, so I made profit on that as well, alhamdulillah. Great. Right, so next on to the next bit. TripAdvisor, it's oversold stock, but it's gone up in a rally. I have a sale order on 18 and 1770. Again, I'm more messing around with the stock than anything else. So where are we? Yeah, it's started climbing. It dropped, but it started climbing again. So, but anyway, never mind. If things serve us right, it might come back down because there is a resistance around where it is now. So I think from here it will bounce back down to potentially my sell price. So what I'm going to do now, leave that on the side. I want to talk about Ocado. Right. So Ocado is one stock that I'm exposed. I was exposed a lot more than this, but obviously, as you can see, I'm down 40%. 40% down on Ocado. On basically, I'm losing, £487, a lot of money. So where was I? I went in here, the market dropped. I could have come out with a profit, but I got greedy. Not gonna lie, I decided to hold. Since then, it's been dropping. I tried to average down when it dropped here, thinking there'll be support here. Past data does give us indication as to where it could go, the stock, right? Not for a long hold. This is only ideal for swing trading. So in swing trading and using technical analysis, would use different things. For example, would use trend lines, would use support and resistance and so on. So I thought there's a strong support here. You might hold. It came here, so I averaged. I tried to close the gap. When I closed that gap here, it then suddenly plummeted. So when it plummeted, I thought, oh sugar, I can't do that again because you go by this analysis, right? Data chart. So I like to look at line chart. Gives me easy and it's easy on the eye to identify patterns and trends. So I thought support's supposed to be here really, but it didn't hold. It broke down. If it broke down this major support, that to me, because it hit it once, tried to go again, but it went up. It did the same, but again it went down. So I thought if that's the case, the stock is going to go all the way down because it's on a falling knife and it's a downtrend stock. So downtrend, falling knife, economy, which is fundamental analysis using economy and its insight into Okado's future prediction and so on. It told me one thing when I was here, that the stock will go down to its all-time low. There it is. There you go. Well, actually, no, I tell a lie. All-time low is further down here. Okay. All the way down there. That's back in 2017. But it's relative low here, as you can see right there. All right. Now, that gives an indication. This is back when, let's have a look. This is back last year. Okay. It dropped and it tried to drop again 2022, 2023 and so on and so. So this gave me relative confidence that, and if you look at here, that this was actually a resistance for it. So this was actually a breakout for that stock. So since this was a breakout, it also acts as a support, strong support. So here it's working as a strong support for us. Now I predicted when it was here, I predicted it will go to this level. And it did. Look here. It's a bit lower than that, but this is what happens, more or less. It's lower than that. So when it came here, I anticipated that the stock will hold. Okay, because the past data does give us an indication as to where the stock is likely to go to next or move to next. Okay, and where the likely support to be if you use past data. Past data is a good indicator of certain predictions. So I use past data in this case of this and previous lows as a support. And if you see this stock overall, it depends how you look at it. It has a sideways momentum, especially if you look at it this way, it goes sideways a lot. Predominantly it's a sideways stock, which is, I like working on sideways stocks. They're slightly less volatile. It takes longer, but if you can use technical data properly, you can come up with a greater profit. And I've made profit on Ocado before anyways. Now, I don't call this my strategy and averaging down. Averaging down is different, to my strategy. My strategy is, I don't know what it's called in Wall Street or trading world, but I call it closing the gap. Now, when I say closing the gap, I use mathematical formula. I use calculations. I used a lot of predictions and a lot of chartings and a lot of data analysis. I use all of that to decide how much money I'm going to invest and when I'm going to invest, and then I will enter that trade. So close and so aggressive that I will close that gap. You see here, 39. I'll close it to the nearest 2-3%, ideally 3%, because it's very difficult. Mathematically, it's very difficult to close it even further once you've thrown thousands into that stock. But the closest you can get to is about 3%ish or 3-4%. Now, if I can get to 3-4%, not here, right here, I'm a bit exposed. As you can see, that the stock behaved, tried to break down on the support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It hit it once, twice, 3, 4, 5. 5 times it actually bounced off the support. That gives me indication it's a strong support. Also, if you can see the chart is going sideways, not entirely downwards. There is a slight down slope, but not majorly. And on top of that, there is an effort of resistance level is at the moment, it would appear to be around just there, around that figure, which is about 10% buffer zone, gives me, roughly speaking. I've been watching it. You have to watch it and analyze it. Now, something similar happened here, and then it plummeted, right? The same trend happened. If you look at here, there's a trend. Support, supposedly, and then plummet. Support, rise, support, and then plummet, right? Now, this one is, if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4 times it hit it, and then it went down, right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to wait and see it hitting it again. 6th time. If it 6th time it holds, because it hit it 4 times here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it plummet, right? But here's another thing. If you analyze the difference, the gap from this to that spike, from the trough to the peak, it's about 5 to 10%. You see, same from here to there, it'd be about 12%, 20%. From here to there, about 10%, and so on and so forth. Now, why does that matter? This matters fundamentally. So when it drops down to the 6th time, I'm going to see if it will break that support or not. If it breaks, I will not go in. I'll hold. If it holds, I will then close that gap, that negative gap, by 5%. Why is 5%? Because remember, we observed and analyzed that the from this to this, the distance, the gap is about 5 to 10%. If I can close it to the nearest 5%, my current buy will be just below where it is now. It's likely to be just below that, halfway between this drop and here. That, if I can bring it to that level, it gives me a lot of confidence, because all I need for the stock to behave as it does behave in a 5-10% move upward, it does, and then it goes back down one time and I'm out with a profit. But also it does other moves like 20% move. So you will move, for example, from here to there, that's like about 30%, 40%. From there to there is about 20%. And so from here to there, I think it was about 25 to 30%, I think it was. And so based on that, as well as other data, let's have a look quickly. So I'm using Trading 212. So far, I feel that I'm still yet to maximize all the tools given here. Therefore, there's no need for me to buy a new one. You see here is a good indicator of oversold, right? So it's on a down. It's on a down. If it comes near that figure, I'm happy to go in, because the likelihood of me coming out with a profit is greater, let alone break even. So I'm likely to come out with a profit if I can close that gap using my formulas and using my strategy and using my game plan, which has worked on all the stocks I've ever worked on. Plug, it worked on Tesla, it worked on NIO, it worked on countless stocks I've used. This is not something I've studied from anybody, but I use maths, and maths is universal language. I don't need to study somebody else's strategy. I just need to use mathematical calculations and formulas and test it, right? That's what mathematicians do. Calculate, execute, test, repeat. Calculate, execute, test. Calculate, execute, test. If I can calculate, execute, and test it, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, but 20, 30 times, it means my strategy is correct and strong and it holds. Again, proof is in the pudding. Go and look at my previous videos. Proof's in the pudding. I've always been a bit stubborn that I don't need to study. I mean, all these other men who are stock traders, they're human beings like me, right? They're intelligent human beings. I like to think I'm not dumb, and I like to think I'm quite high-level intelligent human being. And if I think of myself as a very high level, a human being with a higher level of intelligence, if those men can do that, I mean, not all of them started off studying, did they? They had to figure things out. They had to study and play. They had to mess around, and they figured those out. And I believe I'm a bit like that. And I like to challenge myself. I like to challenge myself to see, hey, can I actually, without any mentorship, can I actually match their levels? Can I get to their levels? I mean, probably that level, they had certain level of other insight information, but so far, given the fact that I just started intuitively, no training, no courses, no gurus, or no mentorship, purely based on my intuition, I've not done bad for myself, and I've developed my own strategies along the way. I've figured out pretty much a lot of things about stock trading on my own intuitively, and so far so good. It serves me well. My strategies does work. I've proven that time after time after time. And so again, like I said, I will execute this stock once I feel that all the data analysis is in line with my understanding, and then I will execute it, and then I should be able to come up with a profit, inshallah. So just a bit of an update. This is where I am with this stock, and I've been watching it for a bit. I've anticipated the stock will drop to this low. It has happened. It's holding, but it's going in a sideways, which is good. It's showing that its support is here, holding well. And let's see what happens on the next move down. If the next move down holds at these levels and all other predictions align, I will go in, close that gap to the nearest 5% to 4% or 3% ideally 3%. And then I should be able to come up with a lot of profit, inshallah, and rescue my money, losing money, potentially £487, as well as freeing up this money, which is £740, going nowhere at the moment. So yeah, one thing I learned is that we're all different when it comes to stock trading. You just got to learn, your own strategy and figure out your own strategy and game plan. But I wouldn't recommend everyone to do what I do, what I'm doing. Better to go and study from others and learn from others, and reliable and trustable, proven record, and genuine people. One thing I would say is that be intuitive, try to be an independent thinker, and also try to learn how to filter information to so that you can find genuine people, good people that will benefit you, that you can learn from. But in my case, I'm just anomaly. Don't really follow me, because if you follow me, you probably will get your ass burnt, because obviously I don't. You're not me, you see. So whereas me, just as when you thought my ass is going to get burnt, I will always pull out a trump card. And I'm able to do that. I'm capable of doing that. So I'm different. So don't follow me. But, you can learn from me some of my strategies, especially when they're tried and tested constantly and they work.